Hello, hello. Where's chat? Found it. Alright, time to see if a trap worked. Oh? This is a funny trap. What happens is, I built this last night before I went to bed. What happens is somebody uses slash trigger TB fix position. And then the ender pearl falls through this, causes this hopper clock, puts it in this bubble vader, waits for that long, times 2 on hopper speed, so that's probably like 3 or 4 minutes. And then after that time, it'll activate the ender pearl and cause this noise. Wait, hold on. This noise. Yeah. So it's really just the next level of prankage that I could think of. Only problem is it won't work. It won't work if they use it from the nether or from the end, because they'll fall and see the contraption before it is required. How many valuables do I have? Ooh, 40 diamonds. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the way she goes. So there's a couple things I could do right now. I'm still thinking about a mini game I could make. I don't know who placed this. But I mean, it's not the easiest thing to think of. I think the easiest one would be like an ultimate chicken horse type game, which I saw. I've been watching this guy called Gerg, and he has one, but I think that it could be better. And so I might make that on this mini game or on this server. I've also seen like, I mean, you could do basically anything. It's just a matter of what and what fits the Minecraft theme the best, right? Right? I'm also at a point where I think I need to start removing shulkers, so like this one could become a concrete shulker. I think I do want 2 shulkers of fireworks. Um, but it's not like I have a whole lot of space here. Let's see what Nathan's doing. AFK. At a frog light farm. Ayo. That's not the right mode. Villager trades are... So I've got a few ideas. One is I can build the cathedral. I should have the concrete to do it now. Not the stained glass, but the stained glass shouldn't be too hard. Actually, that does give me an idea. I should be building the super smelter, because I can dupe sand, but not glass. So I should really go to the industrial zone and build a super smelter. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I've got enough stone, which I don't. So let's just grab a bunch of stone from whichever one of these is the stone chest. Check my portable workstation to see the furnace count. Very low. Throw that in here. I guess I can shulker up these anvils now. First, let's craft those furnaces. And just throw them in here. Gives me some more space. Let's throw in another anvil into my bag. In my head, one hopper minecart is better than 20 hoppers, but I'm not sure if that's actually true. But I've been operating like that. Okay, so for the super smelter, I'll need more chests, I suspect. Or at least just want more chests. I'm running low. That should produce enough chests that I don't have to worry about it for a long time. I hope. Let's just throw a bunch in here for now. Throw that 7 in there. Okay. How many do I have in here? I want more. I really like having access to all the, like, all of this stuff here is really, really nice to have access to. I could even use more. Just 32 should be fine. But, like, these are just, like, common use items that, like, I use all the time. And at a frequency where... And then also a backup 5 fireworks, which it hasn't come in handy yet, but I'm sure it will one day. Okay. Restocked the stone shulker. I think the grass shulker is also taken some hits. Yep. Let's get a couple stacks of grass and dirt. That's good. The wool shulker is in need of some improvements. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, the farm stalled at some point. There were a couple issues with it. Um, you can see that here, let's go into spectator, because showing this farm is impossible otherwise. When this minecart falls down, and I'll come over to show you which one I'm talking about. When this minecart comes across, it'll come around this circuit, delivering shears to all the required dispensers. So you can see this one doesn't need any because it's got 2 shears in it. And then it falls down here. Well, these minecarts, which I'm pretty sure can still jam, if it's coming from this direction here, and it's right here as this minecart is falling, it should stall right here and stop moving. But before, what that would do is it would actually knock the shears chest cart off the rail and it would land like right here or something, or right here, instead of continuing on the circuit. So now I've fixed the shears shulker, so it might jam up one layer, but it won't jam up all the layers now. Which is what happened, is my entire farm was completely out of shears. But now each of the drop down points have a tunnel to drop down instead of just a 1-block guide. Which one? Oh, the one with my my shulker on it. Okay. I do need white wool. Need pink. Okay. Most of the wools don't seem to get used. But simultaneously, the ones that do don't get used too much. Am I missing any now? Doesn't look like it. So then I just have to make sure the ordering is correct, and it looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. Anything else I need to deal with? Yeah, that's fine. I could put acacia in my wood shulker, as I now have a bunch of acacia as well from the wood farm. Probably more acacia than I'll ever use, but... Because I don't think acacia is like... Well, I mean, the log is nice. Like, that's a pretty good log. But stripped is like, ugh. And the wood is like... I mean, it's fine. Not my favorite wood, though. But I'd want 3 stacks, and what am I going to replace? I can replace the cherry, I think. I also wanted to make... Yeah, I need to make the super smelter. Probably going to require a lot of hoppers. Oh yes, my redstone shulker. That needs to be checked too. Okay. Most of it looks fine. I still have too many redstone torches. I could use more repeaters and comparators. Oh, and I should check my gear shulker, make sure I don't have any backup elytra in there, and I don't. Now I can use some of these extra torches. Repeaters, yeah, I'll just bulk craft these. Put extras in here. And then I'll need more torches, so let's go get... more wood. And I'll need more redstone. Okay, and then some of those. Still have 3 stacks of stone. Full stack of comparators. Man, it would be really nice to have all of this redstone supplies just auto-crafted. What am I doing? I want cobble. I thought I had more cobblestone somewhere. Yeah, I mean, that's not looking good on the cobble front. But pistons, they require 5, right? 4. Okay, I could handle 4. kind of. I don't even have enough to do the sticky pistons too. And do 6, which is better than none. Okay, and then for redstone itself, I am pretty low, so let's do a trading session. I've decided I need to keep bone blocks on me, but they should be in the food shulker. It's the only place that makes sense. Oh, perfect. I should have done this before I looked at the other stuff. I actually do want some more stone walls in the redstone shulker because those are occasionally quite useful. I don't have much space in the TNT shulker. I can take out some of the coral fans, which used to be used in TNT dupers. I guess they're not anymore. I don't know. As for the wood that's left over, I'll just throw them in here. Leftover hoppers I'll want. Let's get the gold shulker. Start trading for redstone. Okay. And how's the efficiency modules looking? I can throw these in here. I would like to do one more trading session if they would restock. Doesn't look like they will. Okay, so industrial zone. I'm gonna want a super smelter, and I'm gonna want it to be chunk loadable. So, I believe this is the chunk loaded zone right here. So from here to here to here, and then here and here, like in a square. So I suppose let's start hollowing out a spot. This stuff's annoying to deal with because I think I can just like throw this stuff into a well of sacrifice. But for now, let's just throw it into a junk shulker. It's faster. Also, I found a Swift Sneak book. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. I found it because I found where I originally stored the Swift Sneak. Because I thought I'd got more. And I did. I just didn't store them in the correct container. I stored them in the community chests. So when I died and lost my my pants, I went around without Swift Sneak, not knowing that there was a Swift Sneak book in the community chests. Specifically the barrels by the enchanting bin. I also think it would be a wise idea to build a Enderman farm, but I have been lazy. But having a better supply of pearls would be nice, and XP as well as the fact that pearls are a great thing to be throwing into the Well of Sacrifice at the rate that we would be getting from the Enderman farm. And then you could just destroy the Wells of Sacrifice. So that we could go into collect mode, you know? Okay. Should be good enough. Gotta figure out a build to do with all this orange terracotta. I got so much of it. But as for the super smelter, I believe I'm going to use hopper minecarts for the most part, so I just need... Come up like this. 4, 5. And I want to start it close to the chunk here. With enough space for like an output chest. That should be good. So that's 14, 15, 16. And I think 16 should be good. I don't know what the rate... is on furnace collection. Let's do here. And then it'll look like this. And there'll be a rail on top, a rail on the side. I almost wonder if I should do this in one chunk. I feel like having things in one chunk is like a good idea. Because then I can Ender Pearl load them as well. Which, I don't know which one's more intense. But let's just do this in one chunk here. So I'm going to have the furnaces go... I think 14 furnaces is how many I'm going to have on each. That way I have one block of space on each side of the chunk. Is this enough space? It should be. Hypothetically speaking, it should be. Should I push them forward one? Like that. That way this hopper gets 2 passes like all the rest. Same with this one. And then the question is, do I have... This one will be the materials. Let's just get this down. Do I have this go around to the others and have one fuel minecart for all the furnaces? Or do I have 2 fuel sources, like fuel containers that I can put stuff into? And I'm already out of hoppers. Something like that. Let's light up the area a little bit. This time with jack-o'-lanterns, since I am now producing these. Also I built a lantern farm. These are nicer lights because redstone, or they don't break from water. I'm pretty sure they're also brighter than torches. And they won't break when I dig the blocks underneath them as well. Okay. Okay. So then these can be the output chests. I think. Do stairs. Do they? Or do they not? Stop redstone. Also, this is perhaps what? No, why? Yeah, see ya. Okay. So this is essentially the test. if I have this, I power it with a lever, which I did not take. Then I place a minecart. And then, yeah. You don't get pushed by a stair. Okay. Which means the output area needs to be dropped. Because this has to be a full block. This would be a hopper. And this actually needs to be a detector rail that's pointed upwards. Like so. And then if this is powered, well, wouldn't it just fall back down onto this? I can't remember how to do detector rails. I think that the best way to do it would actually be to do something like this, where I have a hopper underneath, like that. One of you, a regular rail, and then this would come out with like a comparator. Like so. Except this might not work. It might. Torch, redstone. Like so. And then if this comes back, say, with 14 items in it, is fine. You stop. You did not stop. You did not pick up an item. It's because this is not a slab or glass or something. Oh, I can make a slab. Now that should work. Hypothetically speaking. Okay, it did not work still. But this should be... Oh, but... Okay. Oh, because I need to figure out how to do this without exceeding the chunk boundary as well. So, like, that needs to get powered. Which means that if I do something like that, that's kind of awkward because it's going to burn out the torch. I need it to get inverted and powered. That must be a block. This must be, so I can use a repeater, but this might be too slow now. Yeah, that was too slow. Because now when this turns back on, the alternative is I do something like that. And then when that's done loading, goes back. Why did, oh, if I make that, it shouldn't go up, right? But it might go up too far still. Yeah. I'm gonna go for a poo. I'll be right back. And a nice greasy poo is what I had. And since I'm sure people were wondering for sure. Right. How do I deal with you? It's a good question because I don't have much space to do it. I think in the past I used to have it um well actually, could I do something weird. Because what about down? Because doesn't this get stuck on the wall? It does, but it doesn't go back up. So the only thing I can think of is to either have 2 hoppers or have this off by default and only turn on periodically when the comparator reaches 0, which I think is the right play. So have it off, block, and then still comparator. But now this will always be on. So I need to do something like this. See, I want it to go into a torch like this, but then I need to use a target block, which is fine. Torch. Tried to fly like I'm in creative. It's a classic right there. And then redstone repeater. So now this should always... Oh, wait, no, I need this to be the opposite, right? This will now always be on. So now with any amount of item in there, this torch is off. Which it should be. But it should be off anyways. So I've got the inverted function right here. Which seems to me to mean that I should have something like this and then like this. And now that should invert the function. There we go. Then we take this signal, put a redstone here, and extend it. And now this should always be off, except for when it empties. Okay. But then if it comes back empty-handed, it won't go. Alternatively, I can put this on a hopper clock and time it. I'm just trying to think of other ways I could do this. Because this works so long as it's getting any amount of items in it. But it won't work. Like, ultimately, I need, like, a detector rail here, and for it to sit partially on... But with so little space... I think it's this or a redstone clock. I think I'm going to go for a redstone clock. And then this will go around all of the furnaces. I think it should be able to handle this. I know how to do redstone, I swear. Okay. And then it'll just go back. Alternatively, I could have it just feed into this spot here. Which actually, if I have it feed into this spot from the side, like so, and then I do it like this, what happens? So I throw the... minecart on here. That seems like it's still going to get stuck, right? Yeah. Okay. So, can't have it angled up with the furnace there. I could push it out one more block, but I don't feel comfortable doing that, considering this is the edge of the border here. I could push this whole thing in one more block, which would seem to make sense. Let's try that. See what one more block of space gives me. And I'll worry about the furnaces and stuff later. Because then I can do this. But then I still have the issue of detecting how much is in there and locking it. I think traditionally we use a piston here with pushing a block. So there would be a block here and a piston here. And then this would be a detector rail angled downwards. And then your hopper minecart would go in this. And then when this piston retracts, I'd need to push it 2 out. And then simply put, if this has items in it, activate the piston. Except, no, it's if this has items in it. Activate the piston. Is it perhaps right here? Still not fast enough, huh? Why is it not fast enough? If I have you coming around. Thanks. Like this side here, like this. Will you be fast enough? No. What about that piston? From the looks of it. Yeah, it's not. I think it's meant to be like if I push you around this way. Why did it get released? Okay, well, I mean, I guess that did have one item in it. Okay. But that doesn't work because now this is going to disable the hopper underneath it. Dude, this whole system is bunk. I think I just go with the hopper timer. It's so much simpler. So all I do is I rip out all this stuff underneath because I'm going to change it with wool. Yum. Rip out all this. Replace that. I do actually need 2 of those. Stone block. And I'll just make a hopper clock here, probably facing like this. Let's grab wool. I'm gonna need gray. I'm gonna need... Let's start with gray. Just fill all of this in. Okay. All of that needs to be rail. And then... For the timer, let's do a dark green circuit. And then these are simple. I might have built it too close, but we'll find out. Okay, and then green, green, green. And redstone. Comparator. Okay, now this is a hopper clock, which can be enabled and disabled. And this should just simply output. I think I need to invert this, actually. Like so, because this should be the output signal here. Or no. Do I want a similar thing where I have it update? And produce a signal. Because right now, if I put stuff in here, this signal will always be active, and it'll either be active or not here. I mean, I could do something like that. Let's grab. If I grab a signal from here, do it like. Oh God. Like so. And then this will be the output line, so let's put a hopper here. So I would need to get this block here powered. Which means I really don't have a whole lot of space. Is there a better way I can do it? Because it needs to be powered for long enough to get the rail, but unpowered the rest of the time. What if I just did something like this? I don't think it's going to do enough. Yeah, it's inching it, but that's not what I want. What if I did this? No, because that'll disable the hopper most of the time. Ultimately, I can push this further. or under. Just out of curiosity, what does this look like? Yeah, that's not what I want. What I want is something that... I'm gonna have to move this. Let's build the output first, I suppose. Because this is going to be harder to figure out. I'm going to have something that turns off and then on occasionally. And then when that happens... I want this to turn on for a brief moment. Let's just build one out here. So I have something to work with. Maybe out by like this much. So then if I have a repeater here, like in my head, I can just have like a repeater and then an observer. Excuse me, and then hopefully just another full tick repeater. And that does work. And currently it is perfectly timed to keep this in motion. This is so... It's funny. This is like useless redstone machine moment. Okay, so I would want probably like... Well, let's get the powered rails out of the system. And use like sticks instead. Hold on, I just had an idea. Should be 2 items longer than needed to get a full smelt from all of these things. Okay. So now this will run periodically. Here should be the output chests. And then just gonna say like 1 diamond block. Okay, these ones should be easier. It should literally just be powered rails. Like so. And then blink. This one will just be a circuit. This one will be just regular rails. Then I get me a chest. 2 chests. Like that. And then for the coal, it'll be something similar, except to this one. Come out like so. And it's just going to do a double take. Need to go get rails. I shouldn't say that. It's not overpriced. He's just not buying stuff back from me. I'm gonna have to brew more fire resistance potions soon. Nathan's been buying these kits like crazy. I'm also gonna have to get myself, I don't even have the experience bottles on me, so I'm gonna just craft them. Or craft them. Trade for them. Thankfully, I do have my gold here, but I don't think I need it, actually. That's where you went! I thought you were dead. Brother. Get back in your... Get back in here. I don't know. Get back in here. I've got an idea for when I build the shop. I'm gonna take the trigger portal thing, and I'm gonna have it redirect the pearl directly into my shop. And that'll be my monetization for my shop being open. I'm just gonna do, if they've reset their trades, yeah, I'm gonna do another. I've got enough for... There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to make more fire resistance potions soon. Okay. Let's see what wool I have. That ain't right. There we go. This bamboo farm is so awesome. It is just perpetual wood. No cost, no bone meal, no nothing. Just wood. And it's like so nice to use too, because a lot of the time you don't need that. Like, you don't need the 4 wood from wood. I've got a lot of red. Do I have some up here? Nope. Got a lot of red. It's looking like I do red or green. Yeah, let's do a green. I can't believe I've held W this whole time. That's the first time I've gotten out on not the top floor. Was like a perfectly timed W. I actually love these kits because they're the combination of 2 farms, could be 3, and villager trading. There's no way getting around them being expensive, and there's also no way, like, you make these without a couple of prerequisite farms. And I needed more powered rails. Can't believe I remembered. I wonder if I annoy people who do redstone, because I do a lot of redstone myself. Like, I will copy from other people if I'm like, oh, I just want this farm and I really do not want to deal with the Ooh. What happened there? Oh. Deal with the redstone aspect of it or whatever, you know. Because there are farms like that. Oh, I should really be putting these on the side, shouldn't I? This can come around the back. Except it can't. Interesting. Can it come around the front? I wanted to avoid this, but most annoying creatures in the game. And it's annoying because they can spawn in any light level. We can't stop them from spawning. Okay, that'll do. A redstone block there. Redstone block here. And this one will just go back and forth. I do want it to come out 1 extra block, because like I said, this hopper here will get triggered once when it should be triggered twice. So like, let's do that. Okay, and then I need 2 more hopper minecarts. One going like so, the other one going like so. And this should be done. So all I need is to have my fuel chest here, my input chest here, and then I should have a bunch of sand to run this test. Also a bunch of coal. So let's throw this in here, see how it does. I want to see how much gets pulled out. 4. What if I did, because it goes slower and waterlogged, right? So what if I kept this powered? Get out of here. You too. But then I did something like this, where this, and this. And I grab myself a bucket, which there should really be buckets in here. There are. Some ice. Waterlog you. Waterlog you. You. And you. And then I just need to keep those powered. Just like so. And like so. And now let's test it. See how much it's picking up. It needs to be 14. 10. It's better. Alternatively, because this is going to need to stock up all of these. So there's only one way around this, and that is that I have this stop for fuel. And I think what I can do specifically, if I can get this around on this side, which I think I can if I just do some wham jangling. sign in shock bite. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, I remembered the sign in details. Okay, so the idea is now that this just activates all the rails. So rip this out for now. And then I'll want them all to do the same thing. So they'll all dock here. Which means that I'll want the power block to be here and down there. So this has to be a rail. No. I disagree. Heavily so. Okay, and then this has to be a rail. This one needs to be gray. This one's unrequired. Okay, and then on this side, everything will just bounce back. So there, and also here. It's annoying because I have to make sure the furnaces are clear completely. Okay. Should be good. So now this is ready to go. And then here would be a chest. And then this would also have to be a chest. Which makes powering it require powering this block here. And that block connects to this hopper, doesn't it? Yeah. But it'll only be for a moment. Because this is the, like, there's no getting around this. So then, indeed, I have to find a way to power that block, which would involve a redstone torch right here. That is always receiving power. So, like, as it stands, well, first of all, I need to do this while I'm jangling again. Second of all, this needs to... So it's really only this torch that needs to receive the power. Or receive the undone power, which means that if I have a redstone dust here, power this via torch, all of these will be off, but this will... Oh, no, 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 that doesn't work. I mean, alternatively, I can power this block. This block. Oops. And this block all separately. Which is unbelievably annoying looking. Or I could do this block, actually. Would make more sense. This block. Which could just be done with one redstone dust between the two. Yeah. And then also this block. All simultaneously. As simultaneously as I can make it anyways. If I make you into a target block, put a green boy right there, then I just have to power that block with a repeater. Which then means that if I raise this guy up, 1. Wait, no. so. Repeater, full tick. Boy, I'm daft. That doesn't actually reach this block. Now, how do I carry that signal through? Yeah, I can take this target block back. Place that with a green block. Redstone. Redstone. Replace you once again with a different kind of block. Once again, this is going to block this hopper temporarily. Can you chill? Game. Like, of course, that's not what I wanted it to do. Oh, yeah. That'd do it. They'll get a chance to refuel. Okay. So now I can just come through here, make sure these furnaces are all well and good, and they seem to be. Slap my stuff in here. Take the coal, put it in the fuel chest. And then junk, red sand. This should smelt into glass. Take these out. Then I should see this light up. This one might not light up. That's the test. it did. Okay, and everything should get 2. It needs to be a little faster, I think. Alternatively, I can have this pulled out by another minecart with a hopper, right? How's this looking? Okay. Like it could be a little bit faster. Let's try doing this at double hopper speed. But I'm not sure. Like if I have 2 hopper minecarts. This won't work, right? Yeah. Then the question is, does this work? Because if I have the hopper just on top, with a piston that pushes this block, and then I throw this hopper minecart into it. You have items. You get sucked out. And if I press this, okay. That could be used as a quick unloading. I could take this to at least 2x hopper speeds with that. And all I would have to do is get rid of this piece of redstone that makes the device function. I don't know. This is kind of like fine, right? I could, like, the alternative is that I can have this top line trigger more often. But it's still going to smelt faster. Like, this is smelting faster than it can put glass in. And there's not really a way around that. Unless I get it doing double hopper speeds. But as it stands, this is also producing a lot of glass. At a waste of fuel. Not too much waste of fuel, but waste of fuel. And also this needs to be increased by a little bit. I mean, what I could do, actually, what I could do is what if I had could have this be a copper bulb. Then I'd have to somehow route because really I need this one triggering more often than this one down here. But I think I just need the whole thing triggering more often. Which would imply that I do need to make this piston activated somehow. And just to be clear, like, if I just used a piston here, no, that wouldn't work. Right? Like, redstone can't go on top of the piston and all that. And also probably, my guess, well, let's see what happens here. Yeah, moves the rail. I just use a regular piston. Power it like so. Run that in there. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for starting the minecart to move. So it also needs to be a sticky piston, which I don't even have the space for. Call me crazy, I think this is how I'm gonna run it for now. And all of these should have an excess of fuel in them. For some reason this one has less. That's because I didn't heed my own advice on it. No. Please do what I want you to. Okay. Smelter completed. Bunch of glass acquired. I could also use lava buckets, but I don't think that would be ideal. And then I need an off button for the farm, so oops. I think just doing this should be fine. I might have put that on the wrong side. We'll see. I don't think it matters. Wait, does this even stop it? It should stop it. Yes. And unflicking this will indeed. Okay. My other junk shulker had a bunch of red sand in it too, right? Not a bunch, just a little bit. What's glazed terracotta look like? How did that happen? That's interesting. That's not bad. And then on the next run, turn the farm off. That is not the amount I put in. What happened? Oh, What? I see. And I assume it's the same on this side too. Yeah. And now I have one extra than I put in, which is kind of awkward. Don't know how that happened. Kind of like it. Glazed terracotta. Kind of goes hard. Alright, there we go. Super smelter complete. Now I'll just have to buy a ton of coal from Nathan. Assuming I don't swap to like bamboo. But that would require a redesign of the smelter because it's not designed to put in that much fuel. But it is a potential swap I could make. Alright, super smelter completed. Have I forgotten about chat? Yes. Did anyone chat? No. What do I want to do now? I don't know. I haven't had much motivation to build stuff. That's not where I wanted to go. I'm realizing now that there is another thing over here. And it's this, with two shulkers of pink concrete in it. Here we are. Oink. Well, I can try and build the shop. Or I could say, hey, that's the stream. Oh, I also built this pumpkin farm, which doesn't seem to be working. But maybe it is. Here's all the pumpkins. And here's the timer, which may or may not be working. A villager is down here. How? I have no clue. How did you get down here, buddy? As a baby, you must have gotten down here, huh? But yeah, this should occasionally grow a pumpkin. Update the scaffolding, which updates this observer, which breaks the pumpkin, which then sends a signal to the rest of the farm to harvest. And then when the signal to harvest comes, it sends the signal to this minecart, which will then go down and harvest them all. And hypothetically speaking, this should grow every now and then. If not, I can always put it onto a hopper clock, but also once it overstocks with pumpkins, it'll start converting to bone meal. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't feel creatively inspired at all right now. I could build this. I have all the resources to do it now, but I don't know. I've got everything prepared and ready for when I'm ready. But I think that's going to be it for the stream, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.